This is a beta application. This is a local development environment. This is the server where your client are going to see the app. And this is the GitHub repository. If every time you push something to GitHub, then it goes onto the server, then how can you keep working with GitHub without pushing things to the server? If you've been working on something in the background, and your client wants you to push a different feature right now, then how can you deploy this one and not that one? Is there even a way to do that without using weird merge requests? After using a very simple CI/CD pipeline for several years, I decided that I wanted something a tiny bit more sophisticated, but I wanted it to be very simple. I don't want to have any merge request. I don't work with other people, so I don't need a very complicated thing. What I wanted was a very simple workflow that could also time release my features. It all started when I wanted to take on a little bit of a bigger project. Here's what happened. I started to work locally. Let's say, to simplify, that project had 3 features. Each of these features were pretty big, right? It was a significant amount of work to get those features to work. Let's say I was done with doing feature number 1. And then, because it was working and because I had worked a lot on it, then I wanted to push it just to make sure that, it's version controlled. Now, why do I want to do that? Well, because even if I work locally, I have multiple computers, so I would need GitHub to sync across all of my computers. So I do need to use GitHub. But here's the problem. If I push that to GitHub, then it's going to get pushed to the server and the clients are going to see that. And so I'm going to break what the clients are using. So how can we solve that problem? The problem again is just I want to be able to use GitHub, but I don't want my clients to see it because it's broken. I don't want to break things for my clients. I don't care if things are broken for me because I'm working on it. That's what it's supposed to be, right? Like, you're always working with things that are kind of broken and that you're trying to repair. You create a new branch on the GitHub repository. This is a development branch, or call it whatever you want. This is where you're going to push things for you and for you alone. Now you use the exact same CI/CD pipeline, except for the fact that the server is going to be different. Now it's going to be a different server within the same environment. One environment, 2 different servers. Now when I say environment, it could be an EC2 instance from AWS. It could be whatever, doesn't matter how you call it. It could be an instance. When I say environment, it's just the remote computer on which the servers are hosted. And when I say server, it's basically the entire app that you're developing. And so your clients are going to be able to see that part, but not that part. In that way, the beta server is going to be kept clean all the time, and the development server is going to be the server where you're going to be able to develop all your features without worrying about your clients seeing that the app is broken. So this setup is a little bit unusual, meaning that it's not going to be the way that you're working all the time. Usually you just work on beta, and then when needed, you use the dev branch. Let me explain how that works. So let's say you implemented feature 1 on beta. Now you do not want your feature 1 on beta because feature 1 needs to be on dev, right? But you still commit your changes on beta. Then you align the dev branch with beta because you committed your changes on beta. So you want it to be on dev as well. Then you push your dev branch on GitHub. So far, what you did is pushing feature 1 onto the dev branch on GitHub, which is what we wanted to do, right? So we accomplished the thing. However, there is just one thing that we need to do now, just to be super clean. We want to reset beta because we don't want the commits that we did at the beginning. We just want it to be exactly how it was prior to implementing feature 1. And then we just return to the dev branch because we want to keep working with the dev branch, right? For feature 2 and feature 3. And that's it, right? Now we can keep working and we can keep pushing things, and they're going to get pushed to the dev branch onto the dev server. So that's the process I'm using now when I need to do that. Here's the last problem though. What do we do once we're done? How do we put the dev server onto beta so that the clients can see once we're comfortable with sharing it? Before I get into that, if you're a beginner and you are interested in AI and you want to create your own AI, I know that it can be tough, so I created a free online course. You can click on the link in the description to get it. It's a lot more beginner friendly. It's made for non-technical people, so that might help you. Now let's go back to pushing dev to beta. But you know that the server is actually not working right now, the dev server. So what you want to do though is push feature 2, because you know that at that point when you integrated feature 2, then it was working really well. How can you release just that, feature 1 and feature 2, to the beta server so your clients can see this is the progress and this is working and everything is clean? What you want to do is find the commit hash. This is step number 1. Then you move to the beta branch. Remember that you had been working so far on the dev branch. And then you reset beta to that commit hash. And that's how you push feature 1 and feature 2 to beta. And then of course you just force push beta onto GitHub, and then the CI/CD pipeline is going to push that onto the server in a clean way. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.